Alright, so I want to come over here and check on our little villager buddies. Why are they all stuck in the smelter? Looks like they've chopped down a few trees, so that's progress. Um, they should probably get their buddies out of the smelter first, then they can have a little bit more help to, do some more work. It does look like they've done a little bit though. They got a little jukebox. Alright, so they're listening to music, doing a little construction. Um, I really feel like I should help you guys out, but if I help you out too much, you just won't survive. Maybe I'll just do you this one favor. You don't need this. Oops. Sorry, my shovel's too powerful. I gave you a pretty powerful pick, but you gotta use it. There you guys go. Don't get stuck in there again, okay? That's all I can do. But yeah, you guys have done a little bit of construction. You guys got some enforcers too. I think I'm gonna bring you a little bit more help though. I will save you a little bit from the night, so you don't die. Bye bye. Alrighty, so last episode we did a little bit of a IV progression. Not too much, but we got a little bit in there. Got our first IV machine going. And that got me thinking that, yes, I want to do some more progression. But I feel like I need a place that, the thing about my lab, quote unquote, that was bugging me was didn't really have a place. So just was very messy. And so I think I want to kind of clean it up a little bit and bring some dedicated AE2 power or AE2 stuff over here. I think that'll help me over here, and I would like to make a dedicated like power source because currently this is running off of like a branch of my nitrobenzene power over there, and I want to say that maybe that would be better spent on like automation stuff. So the way I am kind of thinking of it is this will be kind of my like progression area for now. Got lots of space. Machines are going to have to move. And as we automate our progression, the those builds will be somewhere else in the base, and we will free up space in this little lab area. Um, so let me get to work on kind of cleaning this up a little bit. I'm gonna bring some AE2 channels over here and just get rid of some machines that we don't need anymore, and then hook it up to AE2 so we can kind of batch craft a little bit easier maybe, and then think about dedicated power. And I went ahead and cleaned a few things up here. Moved those machines over there and hooked them up to AE2, and we'll work on automating them through AE2. That way, they don't need to sit over there, and they're being useful all the time. So yeah, and I also added this little guy here. That's where all this little random junk that I had laying here, I just threw it in here and made this really cool door. Listen carefully. Sweet. And yeah, made this little kind of storage closet area, um, control room. I'm gonna bring over an AE2 panel maybe or two, and yeah, haven't brought over AE2 yet, but I did get distracted like normally, like like normal, and started looking at like a more towards trying to figure out the dedicated power source. Um, and I just wanted to try something different instead of just continuing to branch off of here. This is kind of working. I've turned some things on, turned some things off, like turning the nitric acid setup off for a little while, letting oxygen and nitrogen build up over there, turning off making nitrobenzene, turning them back on. But yeah, we're doing just fine with a little bit of automation I got going. I also got some tungsten, or I did have some tungsten steel and tungsten being made in the background. So as we're building, we're also doing other things in the background. But anyways, back to the dedicated power source for this. So I'm thinking oil, and I have seen a little bit of rumblings about oil from what people are calling, I think, the ender trees or something, which comes from Thumbcraft. So I went around and tried to figure out how to find the research for this, and it is like behind Thermic Nature, this Plax one, and you won't see these two until you research that one, and then it just goes down this way. So I had a little tough time finding that, but ended up finding it. Ended up doing a bunch of other research that I didn't really need to do, but yep, this was what I was looking for because these trees actually sound really cool. So one will grow an end tree that will convert things to, I think, endstone or maybe obsidian something. Um, but creatures might come too. So uh, I've heard about people making oil farms from leaves of these trees, I think. So but I have not looked at any setups that other people have done. So I'm gonna kind of go into this a little bit blind, but with a plan. This peaceful tree seems interesting. It like spawns passive mobs, maybe. And then the nether tree converts certain blocks to their nether variants. So I want to look at these trees. And it's going to require us to do some infusion crafting. So let me, I haven't made one of these yet. Let me look at getting some things ready for this. Alright, so looking through a couple of these, looks like just the end and the nether, the two that I actually really want to check out, require this ethereal bloom. And I do not have this aspect, so I think this is the taint one. Yep, I said it. And I want to say the only way I could do that, I'm sure there's another way, but the one way I could think of is just like overloading a cauldron full of junk and hopefully uh, be quick enough to scan some of that taint stuff that comes out, right? So let's go far away from my base and go do that. Alright, so I just came over here to this little sinister node totem thing here, and we will just do this right here since, oops, it's already kind of tainted, right? Hey, there we go. I think this is what we need, right? Wait, what? Maybe they dropped the stuff I need? Oh yeah, right there. Tainted goo. Aha. Alright, we did it. Now we should probably clean this up. Nah. Alright, so we did have some tainted goo, and I was able to scan it. But we're going to need a whole bunch more because I think I've done a little bit of looking, and I feel like that's the only thing that you can get taint from what I see, or that's the best option, and I don't know any other options right now. So we're going to try a different run at it and go find a tainted land biome if they exist in the overworld. And we're going to be spawning new chunks, so it's going to be a little laggy because we got 3,000, over 3,000 blocks distance away is the tainted land biome, apparently, according to this nature's compass. So I will see you in a little bit. All right, I think we made it. Does this stuff have taint is the question. Yes. Not firwood. Fibrous taint. Where did I see that? Okay, can we silk touch this stuff? Aha. Oh, this is actually used in some things and stuff. Alright. And do we need like a shears? Shears didn't work on that stuff. And you can't self-touch it. Alright, so I guess we'll just collect a little. Maybe this, I think this spreads. That's how it works, I believe. Alright, so we need 3 of these ethereal blooms, which means we're going to need 24 vidium, and these give 3. So we need like, what, 8 of them? We'll just get like 10 without destroying too much of it. So maybe we need to come back here for some more. Alright, we're gonna bookmark this place and then head back home. Alrighty, so we can go ahead and throw this stuff in there, let that cook up, and get us some taint. Or Victium. Vidium. I don't know why it keeps putting a C in there. Alright, and with this Vitium, we're also going to need a bunch of other aspects as well, which I have went ahead and gathered a bunch of materials that is going to get me, I think, everything I need. Yeah, and these torchberries for uh, Lux, plus whatever else it gives me. So I'm going to go ahead and melt this down. I got these here for the little flower. Where'd that go? Oh, it's for the ethereal bloom. Uh, It requires a shimmering leaf, and the shimmering leaf is made with glowstone flower or glowflower seed and quicksilver drops. So yeah, let me get to crafting a little bit here. The lamp of fertility is going to need infusion crafting as well, a little bit of stuff, and then this guy's made in the arcane work table. So yeah, I think everything is pretty much self-explanatory after we got that Vidium stuff. So let's rock and roll. Alright, this should be our 3 ethereal blooms. Alright, well, that is knocked out. Still working on the lamp of fertility, and then still melting down some stuff for the actual saplings. So, BRB. Oh, looks like we actually need these cinder pearls, which are made with blaze powder and some more glowstone flower seeds. So I didn't see that, but yep, easy enough. Alright, so we have made one of each of these saplings. I made a boo-boo. I thought these lamps of fertility were the ones for crops. They're actually to breed passive mobs, so maybe we'll use those in the future, but yeah, I screwed that up. There is the other lamp of growth, is the one that I was thinking it was, and I also didn't even, I've never used these before. I've seen other people use them, and I didn't know it takes herba essentia, so we might set that up in the future, but we are not going to do it now. Now we are going to go test these saplings. So I brought some materials. I don't know what works, but we're going to go find out. Let's just go find a safe place to plant these bad boys. Can I make it through this hole? No. Alright, I think this is a pretty good place to do some testing. I don't know why I came this far, but oh, I got monsters around me. Yeah, I don't know. This looks like a good testing place, so let's give it a go. First, we got to clean it up a little bit, I think. All right, I think this is a good enough room, I think. Let's give it a go. So let's try. So the golden apple tree. Okay, so you got to remember this part. The leaves will only drop apples when broken with shears, but will it drop another sapling? I guess that is the question. Maybe I should have made more than one of these. Let's give it a go. All right. So it won't drop an apple unless we shear it. Probably should put fortune on this or something. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna chop it down and see if we get another sapling, hopefully. Hey, we got 4. Okay, perfect. Alright, so now let's plant you there. And I guess we'll shear all the leaves and see if we get golden apples. Okay, no golden apples there. Alright, I'll tell you what. Maybe it's either really rare or you gotta have like vanilla shears maybe, I don't know. But I've pretty much used all my bone meal on this golden oak and that's not even the star of the show. I do wanna, however, check out this peaceful one. I'm gonna have to go get some more bone meal most likely. Oh, nope. Oh, look at, oh, these guys. Hobgoblins get spawned there. I wonder if more will come over time. Did you just come from the tree? I don't know. I'm gonna go get more bone meal real quick. Alright, so hear me out. Do you get anything for killing hobgoblins? I don't think so. I did just get rose red dye from something. What was that? Is it spawning flowers too? I don't know. We're gonna leave that there and let it. Ooh, you know, do we get more saplings? Alright, we did get 1 sapling. Alright, we just keep getting 1 sapling. Alright, well, hopefully we don't lose that. We're going to leave that there to see what kind of spam it makes here. And then let's do nether next. Maybe right here. Whoa. Alright. So that spawns some stuff here. And I believe this is really what we're looking for, because you can centrifuge it down for oil. So that is what we are looking for, and I believe the leaves can do that too. Let's get some leaves here. Does it work on dirt? I don't actually know what it works on. At least I've read that it is the leaf blocks. Oh. Does it spread? Aha. Okay. I like that. If I chop this down, will I get a sapling from it? got a few. Okay, nice. Let's clean this mess up, and I think we'll do the end one. All right, so now for the end guy. Whoa. Okay. That's a lot of Endermen. This is kind of strange. Like obviously changed it all to endstone and some obsidian, but now like the endstone is turning, or the obsidian's turning into endstone, and it's like kind of random. Hmm, that's interesting. Let's grab some leaves. I should have got some more leaves from the nether one, but I did get a bunch of saplings, so we'll just, oh, we get saplings while we do this too, so I'm just gonna get a bunch of leaves of this one, grow another nether one, and head back to base and try to set up some automated stuff with the nether leaves, at least for right now. Get some oil production going. Alright, and before this gets out of hand, we'll take this one down too, for now. Maybe it has a use somewhere. Oh, we got an extra one. Okay, cool. Definitely has a use in red dye. I don't know. I think it's biome dependent as far as probably the flowers you get and the animals you get. So, yeah. Pretty neat. We will just throw all this stuff in here and head back to base to set up something for automatic oil. Alright, so I've been playing around with this setup a little bit here. We could, I chose to do block placers and block breakers for now. I think this might be what I stick with. I did think about the applied energistics, annihilation, and ME annihilation plane and ME formation plane. I don't know if those take channels, so I didn't necessarily want to use up a bunch of channels on this. And I think this kind of setup, obviously we can expand it if we want, will work perfectly. So I think we are going to run, I got some things, I've been testing it, and yeah, obviously it works really good. Actually, I want to take that out because I want to run a stack of sand. I was using cobblestone originally, and then I realized that the soul sand centrifuges down and you get a 90% chance of getting sand back. So I feel like it's smarter just to do the sand route. And then obviously we get our oils. So I already did some here, so I want to take that out. Let's lock this before we take it out. I don't really need to lock it because it's the only fluid in this little system currently. I am running this off of benzene right now. I had a super tank of benzene on me just to test things out. So, and this is a MV centrifuge, so we could also up that if we need to. But I'm gonna run a stack of sand through here and just kind of monitor it and see how it works. And then at the end we'll see what all of our stuffs are. You know, see how much stuff we get from one stack of sand, including oil. Let's go. And to turn these on, just currently have levers. Oh, I gotta turn my... Forgot to turn my magnet off. Alright. Let's stand back and watch this work. Alright, so it looks like we've gone through the original stack of sand, but we still have some soul sand in the centrifuge. So I'm just going to let this run completely out of sand and see how much stuff we get. Alright, so that's all the soul sand. We have no more sand in the system. Let's turn these off because they're a little bit annoying. Alright, so no more soul sand. We got 47 netherrack out of there, 11 nether quartz, 5 saltpeter, and 5 coal. That's it, huh? But we did get 10,000, I guess 10 buckets of oil per stack of sand. And that was fairly quick. I would say that's what, Maybe took 4 minutes to go through a stack. Yeah, and then we can expand on these. The only thing about this is I'm probably gonna have to enclose the placers and breakers in a room because if I have this on, I pick up all the items. I don't know if that would be a issue with the annihilation planes. I think, does it suck the block right in there instead of breaking it and it floating around? I'm not sure. Um, so yeah, I like this setup. Now, um, I kind of want to do something with the netherrack, but that might have to wait because if we macerate it down, centrifuge it, we can get redstone, sulfur, more coal, and gold out of it. I thought you could get lava out of this. I don't know. That's less important. I thought we could get lava out of the netherrack. I guess not. Yeah. So maybe I'll just put some storage upgrades on the drawers and then void it for now. These storage upgrades are pretty sweet and fairly cheap for me to make. The issue that I have making these is these stupid things, man. It's getting the pistons in GTNH is a bummer, dude. Um, just a bunch of weird parts. But yeah, we can do that for sure. But so that gets us oil. Um, and that's really what we're after. All this other stuff we can figure out later. The oil is what we're looking at next. All right, so it looks from oil, put it in a distillation tower, and we might as well do um, this recipe here. Naphthenic acid. I'm not really sure if we need a bunch of this or whatnot, but I guess it wouldn't hurt. So let's go make a distillation tower. All right, so here is our distillation tower set up. I am just going to use the 10 buckets of oil that we got from the one stack of sand and push it into here and turn that on. Let's do that. And you know what? I forgot to hook up this for power. And we might need a pump. You know what? Can we use fluid conduits here? Yeah. All right, cool. No pump needed. So let's turn this on. I did put a circuit 9 in there and power loss. Oof. Oh wow. I didn't have the energy hatch facing the right way. That's what it was. Okay, let's try this again. All right, we replaced the oil here. All right, that's running. Energy hatch is facing the right way. Aha. Silly mistake. Alrighty, and we should be getting some stuffs here. Cool. Now, what do we do with all this stuff? All this stuff is from soul sand. How is this possible? Alright, so I think our next step is to place a large chemical reactor down. Um, because all of these are going to need to go into a large chemical reactor with hydrogen to get their non-sulfuric version, and then we're going to get hydrogen sulfide and the gas that we are looking for. So they are all LV. Interesting. Alright, so I think I have my large chemical reactor set up. To get the sulfur out of here, I need to do maintenance and stuff and hook it up to power, but I wanted to explain it because I am going to need to run some more sand through the system. Maybe we'll do 7 more stacks. That'll make it 8 stacks. And because I need some more fluids in order to run a full recipe of these guys. Because if you look, uses. This takes 8, so that's not terrible. 8 buckets. This takes 12 buckets. 12 buckets on that one, and 16 on that one. So I don't quite have enough up in here, so we need to do a little bit more running. So anyways, I made this quadruple input hatch EV. Just like this, a little bit of molten glass, EV machine hull, and a quadruple stainless steel deal. Yeah, this should work. It's got 4 inputs right in one block. They all have 32 buckets, so that should be perfect. And then we got a single input hatch for hydrogen. And then I got 4 output hatches. I have set the filters for them, except for that one apparently. Naphtha. Alright, so that should be those plus the hydrogen sulfide output here. Let me run some sand through there. We'll do 7 more stacks, and hopefully we got enough liquids to now try to do at least one run of this, because I want to see how this guy works really. Alrighty, here goes nothing. I have everything set up, got my circuit in there. I moved my super tanks from there to over here, except for that one obviously, but that one's just on void overflow for now. This is getting pretty filled up. Everything but heavy fuel and naphtha, it looks like. Yeah, so that's working awesome. I hooked us up to power, got some hydrogen over from our system over here, just stole a bunch of it, and we will probably need a better output for the hydrogen sulfide for right now, but let's run it. Yeah, okay, it swaps through the 4 different fluids. Alright, and then this should be empty, or mostly empty. Nice, and then we should have all of our stiffs over here. Heavy fuel, naphtha, refinery gas, light fuel. Alright, cool. And then we can further process from here. But I think we are going to stop this, because this is like one whole thing in itself. We got the getting us soul sand machine over here, and a bunch of other stuff. How many? So I did put 7 more stacks in there. Oh, and that was the last one, it looks like. That's hilarious. That actually went through that pretty quick. Yeah, so yeah, we got the soul sand machine over here. We have our refinery, um, get soul sand going into oil. We distill it and refine it with hydrogen to knock out the hydrogen sulfide in our chemical reactor. So let's find a place for just this setup, and then we will continue with further distillation, refining, such things and stuff. Alright guys, sorry to break this up into 2 episodes, but I think we are at the 30-minute-ish mark here, so I think it's time to maybe make a part 2. So I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I look forward to doing the part 2 episode where we make this oil production into some sort of, power generation. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.